I'll admit it, I've avoided air compressor and air tools like the plague. I've been cheap, I've skimped. I've used corded and cordless power tools to help me cut corners for as long as I can remember. But that all ends today as I unbox and embark on this new air compressor journey for your viewing pleasure.
Welcome to Footage Factory. Today we're reviewing the McGraw 21-gallon air compressor. I haven't seen it reviewed on YouTube, so today we're going to do it. Let's read some notes. Why did I buy this 21-gallon air compressor? Well, because I'm tired of using this thing to pump up my tires. I don't know, is it a good value? Is this thing a good value? Is it quiet? Does it compress air fast enough? In this review, we're going to cover 3 separate uses. 1, air tire pressure gauge, mini jackhammer, the little air hammer gun. Number 3, air tools like the die grinder and the air ratchet. Number 4, a bonus, pew pew pew, sandblasting, little media blasting. How well does that work? Stay tuned, we'll find out. McGraw 21-gallon air compressor. Harbor Freight 21-gallon McGraw air compressor. McGraw 21-gallon air compressor. Also in the end, we'll cover whether or not the fittings, the little fittings, Milton ones, actually make a difference or not.
Looks like we've reached our 30-minute break-in period. Shouldn't have to remind you to break this thing in before you do anything, but just in case I have to. Break it in before you do anything.
One big problem with this thing, I'm telling you what. If you plug it into a system, a circuit that already has a bunch of shit connected to it, it's gonna trip the breaker. So that's why I connected to the circuit in a different room.
Watch as we conduct our fill timing test. Fill timing test meaning starting from 0 all the way to 175 psi. How long does it take? Spoiler alert, it's 6 minutes and 37 seconds. Another test that I'm going to do is 150 psi to 75 because 150 psi is the starting point to where trigger the motor to start. Trigger the motor to start, 150 psi. How long does that take? A minute 30 something. Now that you know the operating times for the compressor, let's get out there and do some field work.
loud. This thing loud. It's already midnight. It's 1 o'clock. Loud. All right. I'm making enough noise. Shh. Be very quiet. We're hunting rabbits. Piss off the neighbors. It's already 2 in the morning, but we don't care. How much PSI we got? Why are we whispering? Things a little bit hard to put on. Oh, there we go. We got 32. That's enough.
Like I said earlier in the video, we were going to do a review on the Milton fittings because it seems that everybody on the internet has a boner for them, and I took the bait. Went on Amazon, bought them. Here they are versus the Harbor Freight. Do they really make a difference? Well, Jesus Christ, I'm just a one-man operation. I can't tell. I guarantee there's some professional watching this video who's going to interject, educate me in the comments. Feel free to shit on this channel and educate me on where I have a deficit of knowledge. Educate me on what it is I need to know why these Milton fittings are so much better. If you upgrade to the Milton fittings, you'll need to swap out the quick disconnect that is the first fitting from the compressor, just so that you can connect it to the hose. Gander at the purple shade. I bought them. I have them. I feel like a pro. Warning, Will Robinson. Be sure to reduce the operating PSI to at least 90 if you're using a Harbor Freight tool, because if you don't, you'll break it. Ask me how I know. Don't forget to get the thread sealing tape. Notice that this thing is oil free, so get yourself some oil and do a few drops in there now and then. It says daily, but do it whenever you see fit. Air ratchet in use for the first time. One of the downfalls of an air compressor is that you are always tethered to the unit, for better or worse. Here I'm using it as a little chisel, maybe incorrectly, but works to get a little bit of concrete out of the way. This thing's big, but it has wheels, so you can wheel it outside and do outside projects if you want to. I sped up the video using it here as a little media blaster with the walnut shells. As you can see, it does a decent job. The gun itself only lasts it's almost 40 seconds. The problem with it is it's a top loader. I can't get underneath the dash. But this is an air compressor review, so we'll do the gun review a different day. Here I'm simulating the Media Blast gun. It's rated at 90 PSI with, I forget how much CFM, but I decided to turn it up to 120 PSI just because I wanted to max out the CFM. So it lasted a little over a minute. I bought a bottom loading media blaster with more capacity, but that too also didn't work well. This is probably why they have the indicator on the thing giving it a red, not good for the sandblasting. Plus a whole bunch of moisture got into the gun, even though I installed the water oil separator. Media blasting is a lot like accounting. Don't do it yourself, just leave it to the pros. Review coming to an end, final thoughts. I was entertaining the idea of returning this thing back to Harbor Freight and getting my money back, $200 and something. I mean, that's a lot of money in car parts that I could use. The longer I have this thing, the more I find myself using it. Yeah, I'll hold on to it. I always end up finding new cool ways to use it. I mean, the air ratchet's big and clunky. It doesn't have any power, but it does make a assembly line type jobs really easy. Checking tire pressure is pretty convenient. I don't have to make a whole bunch of noise in the middle of the street with my emergency air compressor, which should only be used during emergencies. But this isn't a review on air compressing in general. This is a specific review on the 21-gallon McGraw air compressor. It's loud, it takes forever to build up air, but it has a large capacity and the ability to add another air compressor so you can run them in parallel, something you can grow with, something that can grow with you. Just like how my channel will grow once you hit that subscribe button and comment and like and heart and love so that I can deliver content straight to your cell phone, laptop, or living room, whatever the heck you use.